Hey guys, welcome back. It's Mike and Sue
Hi.
on the WV Retreat channel. Thanks for joining us again. We're back here on the property. Today what we're doing is we're going to be going around and looking at trees. In about a month, we're going to have an excavator that's going to come around and start grading and putting in a road from the main road all the way up to where the house is going to be. After he does that, we also want him to do some thinning of trees. We've got this marking tape, and we are going to go through and mark some of the trees that we definitely want to keep. We're going to use green for definitely keep. We're going to use orange for trees that need to be cut. We'd like to keep as many as we can. There are some species of trees that are really desirable, and then there's some that are less desirable. So we'll take you around, kind of show you what we're doing here, and we'll talk to you later. The driveway will start at the main road right here. We already had an entrance to the highway, but we submitted a driveway application to the West Virginia Division of Highways to make sure it was safe. They approved it, but asked us to remove the cattle loading chute so that we could have optimal visibility. We also decided to remove the fencing along the road for more visibility, and we're having the excavator grade it to make for easy mowing and an easier exit from the road. The house will sit here up on the hill behind these trees. This is the path the driveway will take up to the house. Our temporary driveway takes a path that goes straight up the hill at a steep grade. We want the driveway to go up in a big curve so it's not steep, and it won't require a four-wheel drive vehicle. It won't be steeper than 5% grade in any place. The excavator will also install culverts where needed. A culvert at the driveway entrance to the road to allow water to pass under the driveway, and a culvert where most of the water comes off the mountain through a ravine. You can talk to your excavator about what path makes the most sense for your driveway grade and where culverts will be needed. Okay, now this is where we're thinking about putting the house. You can see if you look right and left, there are these orange flags that run in a line. So we think the house is going to be going along here. We're going to have to look at some of the trees around this area, figure out what needs to be cut down. There's also, in that direction, there's a lot of trees that way. We need to thin that out a little bit just so that some of the smaller trees have a chance to grow. This is just too dense in that area. There's some really nice trees around here that I really don't want to cut. So if you look over there, there is a black walnut tree that looks really cool, pretty mature. It drops walnuts every summer. Black walnut trees are a prized hardwood tree that can grow up to 120 feet tall and 6 feet in diameter. Their roots secrete a substance that makes certain plants, like tomatoes, unable to grow nearby them. So we also have a pine and a oak over here that are really nice that I love. So we need to trim those. Pines produce seeds and cones, and that's why they're called conifers. Most of them keep their needles year-round, so they give you privacy all the time. Oaks are deciduous hardwood trees. Most fall into two categories, red and white oak, but there's actually more varieties than that. Most trees in West Virginia are oaks. So one of the reasons why we want the excavator to take care of some of these trees is they can grab the tree with the excavator, pull it up, and put it in a pile. And then they can just cover up the root area. Whereas if you cut it down with a chainsaw, it's going to leave the roots there. There are times where you do want the roots in place so that it can preserves the ground, and it helps contain erosion. But we've got so many trees, I don't think we're going to have that problem. So over here we've got a place where our road is actually going to be going through, and there are some trees that we have to cut, one here
one here. I should say we're going to pull them, not cut them, and to make room for the road. This tree right here is right in the path of where the road is going to go, and you could see it's kind of diseased, so it's probably a good reason to pull this one out. This area right here, these trees are going to probably be taken out. A lot of these small ones. Got a lot of locust in here, which are nice hardwood trees, but these are pretty small, and our driveway is going to be coming along here. And actually, we're going to have probably the wraparound porch along here in this area. So unfortunately, a lot of these small trees will probably be pulled out by the excavator. My dad is with me. This is Henry, and
Hi.
we're going to take some fish, and these are goldfish from his pond. We're going to dump them in the pond that we have up here, and we're going to see if they live. It's a pond that used to be a livestock grazing, watering type pond. Okay, so Dad's going to dump these goldfish in here.
6 goldfish, 3 gold ones, 3 black.
My granddad Virgil built this pond to water the livestock. It's fed from a natural spring up the mountain.
Here they go. Okay, so around here we've got a bunch of wild cherry trees, and these are definitely nice trees that we want to try to keep. Unfortunately, we got a little bit too many of them together, so I think we're going to thin them out a little bit. You can see there's some that have orange, some that have green on them. The other thing that's kind of nice about this area is you have a nice view of the watering pond down here. So we'll be able to see that from the house.
So this here is one of my favorite trees on the property. Look at that limb there. I want to put a tire swing or some kind of swing off of this, and I think it would be just wonderful just to hang out here amidst the different cherries and just enjoy the view. But I think that I love the way that arm just comes across there. It's my favorite tree.
Black cherries are easily recognizable by the branches that come out at a slight angle. They can grow up to 75 feet tall with a trunk up to 4 feet in diameter.
So right here, we've got some different thorny type plants. The main one that we have is a Multiflora Rose, which is really thorny. There are also some wild blackberries. I think these are blackberries. We got raspberries there behind me. Probably need to come in here and spray for a bunch of these things that are less desirable. So we're gonna walk down here to a locust tree and mark it. I love locust, the way they look, but this one's a little bit big, and we really think it's going to impact our view. So I gotta find a good way down through here. Really overgrown. Got some raspberries here. Look at the locust. The bark's kind of really deep. This locust wood makes great fence post. It's a really good hardwood. Makes good firewood too. But you see fence post, chances are it's made of locust. I'm marking this locust here to be pulled. We're gonna come over here and mark this other locust. One other way you can tell a locust is by its leaves. If you look at its leaves, it'll have a bunch of different leaflets.
Did you know that you can fry and eat the black locust flowers? They taste awesome. I'll link to a recipe in the video notes.
Marking these trees by yourself is kind of challenging here. You can get it to lay on the bark. That'll work. tie these up.
Black locust are native to just two areas, and one is the Central Appalachians, and the other is the Ozarks. But it grows most abundantly in the Alleghenies of West Virginia. It can grow up to 80 feet tall and have a diameter of 4 feet.
We found an outcropping of rocks in the field here. Mike is marking them so we can have the excavator pull them out. We had already dug up a bunch of rocks earlier when we were pulling out the fence. We'll have him add these to our stash of decorative rocks. When you're excavating in West Virginia, especially in the mountains, you never know what's underground. If your excavator hits large pieces of solid rock, you can incur a lot of extra costs. But your excavator can usually give you an idea of the probability based on the surrounding landscape. Our excavator thinks that we'll be okay.
A lot of the information on trees I got came from a free book called Trees of West Virginia by Kent Leonard. I'll link to an online PDF version in the video notes if you want to check it out. For you shall go out in joy, and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall break forth into singing. And all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Instead of the thorn shall come up the cypress, instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle. And it shall make a name for the Lord, an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. Isaiah 55, verses 12 through 13.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed it and you learned a lot more about the local trees that we have here in West Virginia. If you like this video, click the like button. If you'd like to get updates for future videos, be sure to click the notification bell and share with your friends. Thanks so much.